Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to TekTopia. Swooping on in today's episode, we're up on the storage building getting a bird's eye look at our village so far, and I want to continue to build up some more structures in today's episode, but my overall plan really includes just focusing on the general productivity of how everyone is working here and seeing if we can get a few more resources out of it at the moment because, well, recently I've been struggling for emeralds and I'd quite like to put an end to it this episode. So I've actually made two small purchases in preparation for today's episode, and that was two two-person homes. I spent 18 emeralds on these two, and I'm hoping that wasn't a silly decision. I guess we will find out, and basically if I can gather together any more emeralds. I'm hoping I can because I'm going to spawn in 4 children and hope to give them a profession once they grow up. But we're going to head to the in part of our under and out bar and inn. Somebody is trying to get through. Our chef heading up into the kitchen. Maybe we'll see what he does actually. I don't think I've followed him up here on camera before. Appears to be getting stuck on the cauldron and he's smelting some stuff up on the stove. Very nice. He's making a good job of himself in here. Anyway, let's head down. I've gotten distracted and we can place in these tokens. We will get them both on the hotbar and then we're going to put 2 here, or one of them here and the other one here. So we now have, what is that? 8 villagers all down here. Well, once I spawn them in actually, that is, so we should probably do that as well. Let's clear the hotbar a little bit more. Yeah, so we now have 8 villagers all in this underground part, which could get a little busy. I'm hoping it doesn't cause issues, but I guess only time will tell. What is it with the boys in this village that whenever I exit and enter the world, they like to change skin? I don't really know why. I suppose it doesn't really matter too much. It's just a little bit weird, but there we go. Anyway, whilst... Trapped yourself in the cupboard, have you there, Isabel? Yeah, try and play hide and seek maybe. That's cool that they try and go in there, I guess. Hopefully they don't get stuck. I'll have to take it out if it's an issue. Anyway, whilst they all grow up and do that over the course of 5 days. Oh, look at the tavern here. No one sat behind the bar. Yeah, it's getting a bit busier now. I like it. I love when the villagers start racking up the numbers. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm getting distracted a lot today. Yeah, whilst the villagers or the children all grow up into nitwits, I just want to do a little build, mainly so I'm not waiting around and I can actually get on with something whilst they grow up. This building is going to turn into a greenhouse over the course of this time lapse, and that is not really necessary in the slightest. We only have 3 farmers in the entire village and far more crops than they can handle. We have that whole big area over to the east side of the village with beetroot, potatoes, carrots, wheat, all 4 of them, which is always fully grown. We have the rabbit area, which has some carrots in, not to mention all the sugarcane surrounding the storage room. So yeah, this isn't really needed at all in any way, shape or form. Eventually we would probably have to place more crops down because last village, our farmers made up for nearly 50% of the population, I want to say. Maybe not, I don't know exactly, but yeah, at some point or another we will have more farmers than we know what to do with. But for now, I just kind of want to focus on the more expensive, not as many professions. Like we haven't even got a bard yet. I still want to buy an enchanter. There's some more druids I'd like to get, along with some chefs and some ranchers. We haven't even considered guards yet, so... yeah, I'm not really in a rush to get loads of farmers. They're still doing plenty of work. They're getting tons of resources as it is. So yeah, we can always just bulk buy them later down the line. But I thought a greenhouse would be a pretty cool build. For some reason, the connected textures, which is an Optifine feature, is not working on my glass here. I don't really know why that is. I've tried taking my texture pack off and everything. The setting to turn to connected textures is on, but yeah, it's not having it, so it means we have these lines here instead of a nice smooth clean look, but it's not too big of a deal. It doesn't really matter, does it? So I was actually thinking whilst building this that I should probably talk about the trees here. A minute ago, whilst it was daytime, there were actually only like 1 or 2 trees up at the time, so they're being heavily harvested and we could use some more. Now, my plan from the get-go was when it came to planting more trees was to actually head underground. Now, I think that's what I'm going to do on the other side of this greenhouse here. We've got another doorway, which I didn't really know what to do, so I just kind of left it open as for another entrance. But I'm thinking we can make a staircase going to an underground giant tree farm. Now, what I have planned is going to take me a while. I want to plant many trees down there, so I'm going to be digging for quite a while, and yeah, what you're about to see is going to take me a few hours, I would imagine. So I'm going to give the children some professions off camera, and I'll tell you about what I've done afterwards. But yeah, I can't really leave them as nitwits for quite that long, otherwise they're going to get pretty bored and rather unhappy. This project has taken me a while to complete. I have been underground for a long time now, and yeah, I think I was beginning to go a bit delirious, but the first thing I had to do was dig out this big hole here, which, yeah, it's pretty large, as you can see. I made sure I went low enough underground so I didn't have to deal with any falling sand, otherwise that would have made things 10 times more annoying. So it wasn't actually too bad digging this hole. I don't mind doing large digging projects like this, but now what I'm doing is just sort of adding in all of the outline of the general room, the corners and the beams going across, which is meant to be holding what is going to be the ceiling up. Yeah, and just kind of outlining what I'm going to do. And now, as far as the walls are concerned, I didn't really know what to do here. It's difficult to make a big open room like this look nice. So I've kind of just patterned it a little bit so it's not really plain and boring to look like. Just so it's not like a plain blue wall or anything like that, which is what we've got the sandstone slabs and stairs creating this. I think is what a kind of cool looking pattern. Looks like there's some sort of eye in the middle there, but yeah. And then the ceiling, pretty much the same deal. It's a large open flattish surface, so I've had to do some sort of patterning and little bits of blue terracotta sneaking through. I've pretty much just decorated this ginormous room the best I possibly can. It's not on show, so it doesn't matter too much. Only the lumberjacks are going to be coming down here and me from time to time. If I was to build this on the village surface as one giant building, well, honestly, I think it would take up about half of the village. So good thing I've gone underground for this one. You know, I probably should have checked that the lumberjacks would actually come down here to chop trees. Nice synchronization, guys. But yeah, thankfully they do, as you can see. But yeah, before I built this, I didn't make sure that they would come underground to harvest them. There's no real reason why they wouldn't, so thankfully they do, as well as the druid coming to grow one, I'm sure. This one, maybe? Can't quite decide. But yeah, this is a real good job done, because now we have plenty more trees. More than we possibly need for the amount of lumberjacks we have. And if I possibly ever need more trees in the future, I'm just gonna kind of hope that I don't, because I don't really know where else to put them. I don't want to build another one of these things underground. This took a long time to do, and they look kind of ugly everywhere on the surface, so I will probably just leave it at this for now. But as you can see, there are plenty of trees here, so we still can get a few more lumberjacks. Miners? This is not the mines. Butcher, this is not the slaughterhouse. What is going on? They've all just suddenly walked down here. Miner, you're doing it as well. What? I'm very confused. Maybe they're just going on a walk around the village, and seeing as that counts as part of the village, they want to come down here. I have no idea. Anyway, this is what I've done with the staircase. Very basic. I didn't really want to go too overboard with it. I don't like building staircases. There's just something about it which I really don't like. And then out on the surface here, if I can just maybe do a hop across. Nope. Okay, we're going to have to take the long way around. I've just done, yeah, a little cover up so they can't just fall down the stairs like that. I am a bit curious why all of the miners were going down there. I'm perhaps thinking it's because these are now invalid for some reason, and they're just choosing, no, it's not looking good. Oh, that's really not looking good. Okay, so what I actually had to do, because these three lines run into the big tree thing I've just built, I had to block them with water sources. So obviously that made them invalid. I was kind of hoping the druid would sort that out. So what I might have to do for now, trouble is it goes all the way down here. Obviously they still got a decent amount of mining to do on here before they end up reaching the water sources. As you can see, it's right at the end of that block. So yeah, I think as a temporary solution to fix this, I'm just gonna move them down a bunch, so they'll at least have something to do for a little while. and I'll probably have to put some thought into a longer term solution, but I don't really want to do that just yet. And back they come. Fantastic. Get back to work, guys, for a little bit at least before they become invalid again. I have thought of a solution that is fairly easy to do, but I'm not going to do it in today's episode because it will involve obviously a lot of digging underground, and I have done enough of that for today. So instead, what we're going to do is fly over to the merchant and hope he's got some trades today. What time is it? You should be here, merchant. The door is open, so he's obviously been around at some point, but he must have decided to take off early. Excuse me, Taufan, you there? You alive, buddy? He looks dead in the eyes. Oh, my villagers keep freezing all of the time. I don't know what it is. It tends to only be the farmers. I'm thinking it's actually something to do with the sugarcane here, so I might destroy that at some point or another, but I'm going to have sugarcane somewhere in the village because it's a helpful resource. You can get paper to trade. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just a bug. It always fixes when I relog, but I don't want to have to keep doing that. But for the meantime, I'm going to leave you here and hope you don't starve to death. You should be fine for a while. You would think making a village for the second time round I would run into less issues, but obviously that is not the case. Architect, you just walked right into my face, which is very helpful because I need to trade some things with you. We are once again going to buy two-person homes so we can get 4 new villagers and give them a profession when the merchant actually decides to come in so I can do some trading. I've just come down to put the tokens in place, and if you guys can hear that, there is some twinkling going on, but there's no hearts in any of the rooms, so I don't really know what's going on there. I guess I'll just have to put up with it while I do this. But anyway, things are about to get real busy down here, and I'm excited to see if everything still works as it should. This room shouldn't cause any issues. I don't think any villagers have got trapped in the wardrobe, which is good. I'm fairly certain only the children would be able to do that, although I guess the adults could get caught in the closet anyway. Okay, so we're going to place these 2 down. So there's 1, 2, we got 2 boys. I'm not fussed about looking at their stats really. We're at the point now we're spawning in so many new villagers, I don't need to check every single one of them. Just a couple of dudes enjoying some screen time in front of the fish tank. So as of just now, we are at maximum capacity for the village, meaning we are going to need some, thread the needle, more homes if we want to get any more villagers this episode. I don't know if we will, but I mean, it can't really hurt to just have some more beds available for when we do want some more villagers. But yeah, obviously we've filled out all of the in part of our under and out bar and inn. And yeah, I've got no more homes here on the surface available, so I just want to build up a little one, a 2, possibly 4-person home. I haven't quite calculated how much room there is inside, but yeah, I'm just going to build that up real quick, and this house is going to have a special guest, shall we say. You guys will find out who exactly this special guest is in a little bit, but before I can show you, we have to do the building first of all, of course. So whilst that goes on in the background, I just want to tell you guys about an unintentional win that has happened with the village because of how I've structured it. A happy little accident of sorts, shall we say. So because we've got this ginormous wall going all the way around the village, I mean, when I built it, I knew that was going to provide some serious protection against the outside elements, but I didn't realize how much protection it would provide. Obviously, before we added in that extra entrance a couple of episodes ago, it was a bit more open and a bit more dangerous, but we added that in, and then we added the daylight detector redstone gate thing so that nothing can get in at nighttime unless it's a baby or a spider. But I have had some necromancers spawning over the course of quite a while actually, and not once have one of them got in the village. In fact, they haven't even moved when they've spawned in. I've watched them on the replay mod a couple of times just as out of curiosity to see what they do. And they kind of just stand around at a loss for where to go because there is, it's happened at nighttime every time so far, so that could be something to do with it. Maybe if it's daytime, they would actually pathfind their way in. Okay, maybe it isn't quite as good as I thought it would be, but yeah, at nighttime, they just kind of stand there like, what do I do? I have nothing to do. And then they spawn all their monsters and eventually just despawn. So that's really good. And yeah, I mentioned earlier about we haven't even considered guards yet. I don't know if we're going to need guards. I probably will get them at some point, even if I just stick them like up in the towers or something cool like that. But yeah, this is a very safe village, and not going to lie, I quite like that. Now, I will show you the inside of this house when we eventually get round to buying the token, which isn't going to be just yet, because I think first of all, I would like to go and fetch our special guest. I've probably picked the worst time to do this because it's nighttime, but we are going to fly off into this direction, somewhere over to these acacia hills right here. Now, I don't know where they've gone. Oh, okay, there's some here. Well, I wanted a llama, right? That's the special guest. And I've been looking for these desert ones, like the beige colored type ones instead of the white or orange. And yeah, I want one of these to be living in the house here. So we're going to see if we can grab one. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I kind of want to see if I can fly him back over the dark and gloomy desert in the middle of nighttime. Yeah, I don't really want to bring all of these guys over, so I'm gonna hope I can like fly and break the caravan. Yeah, I guess there's no preparing this really. I'm just gonna have to go for it. So 3, 2, 1. Are you with me, llama? I have no idea. I will just have to check once we land. Okay. I didn't go as far as I wanted to then, but we brought him. He made it. Amazing. Okay, now I'm very scared for my life and his. But yeah, seem to have broke the caravan. I'm actually kind of surprised that worked. Anyway, now I have to get him back safe and sound. I just watched a replay of jumping off the cliff with the llama, and I don't quite know how none of them died. All of them followed down after him and took some damage, but I'm sure they've got enough to last them a while. Well, they're not dead, so they've got enough health, I'm gonna say. Anyway, I want to buy a 4-person home to put in the one we've just built, so there we go. I've been doing some trading, as you can see. I've got plenty more resources now, which is really nice. But yeah, let's go put this in place and I can show you what it looks like. So we actually have 3 entrances in this building right here. I forgot to put the llama in. I'll do that in a second. So let's go in this one actually. Got like a little area walking in, some sort of deck chair to sleep out on for some reason. I think the sun rises over there, so it makes sense. And then some nice sugarcane, which, oh, by the way, I also broke all of the sugarcane going around the town hall here, or the storage room, sorry, because my villagers just continue to get stuck on it, so I'll have to find another place for some sugarcane sometime in the future. But yes, let's head inside. So as you can see, we've got 4 beds, and I believe there is enough storage floor space here for 4 villagers. I have done the calculations, and yeah, so it is. I can't really remember how many floor spaces there were, so nothing really too much going on the inside, but this is where our llama is going to go. So let's actually pick him up and we can put him in place if there's a lead. All right, come here, buddy. Welcome to your new home. We'll drop you off here. He's just going to be allowed to free roam all around the house, which is why some of the sand has been traipsed in to the indoors. I've just realized you can probably get out here, so I'm going to lower this down. So we'll put his food bowl on the floor, and I guess we can just break this cauldron and put it in the ground here. I'm fairly certain he would be able to fit through that gap, which we don't really want. So there we go. And then we've got his lead here, so when the villagers want to take him out on walks, they can just grab that and take him on a stroll around the village. Do you like it in here, buddy? I think so. And then upstairs, not that the villagers will be able to come up here, we've got another deck chair, just some storage for perhaps just really whatever. And then I'm thinking this is some sort of hay for the llama. Not that llamas eat hay, they actually eat something and lichen from my googling, so I'm imagining this is lichen, which is like some type of moss, I think. So yeah, maybe they're growing that up on the ceiling here to feed their little friend down here, who yeah, is going to be getting some company in just a little bit, but I need to let the other children grow up first. I forgot to add my flowers in the plant pots here. How could I? There we go, looking much better. Also, I forgot to mention, this is, well, I'm sure you can figure out what it is. The llama's got to do his business somewhere, so thankfully he does it in the corner, away from everything else. So the 4 children have now grown up into nitwits, but I only have 11 emeralds to my name, I think. So I could probably do with a few more. Having said that, the merchant has just shown up today. Got any good trades for me? That lapis I could probably make use of. Redstone maybe, although that's not full price. Yeah, not the best trade today, but I'll let you off. So whilst I'm doing that over the course of the next in-game days, I want to build something over at the tree farm we've just built. Flying on over, got here real quick. So if we just head underground, you will see at the back of the tree farm, gonna beat you down. Yeah, too slow. We have this fairly big open space, and it kind of looks like it's missing something. I could just put some more slabs and stairs, the sandstone type, just to kind of fill it up a little bit. But instead, I think, bearing in mind I've got room behind here, I don't know why I wouldn't, I want to put a cactus farm. Why? I don't know. I just feel like making a small little cactus farm. I did say it was going to be small. We've only got 4 cacti in there, but for how often I need green dye, that is plenty. As you can see, it's working really well right now. No, I've literally only just finished it, so I'm not expecting it anytime soon. But yeah, always nice to have if I do happen to need cactus of any sort. It also fills this gap quite nicely. Oh, I didn't realize the druid token was that expensive. I am planning to buy 2 of these, as well as 2 lumberjack tokens to give our villagers, which is, what's that, 42, like 52 emeralds in total, if I've done that very quick maths in my head correctly. Yeah, I don't quite have enough for that at the moment. I just want to get enough druids so we can start replenishing the mines and try and eliminate that issue before it, becomes an even bigger problem. But obviously I don't have enough at the moment, and I've already traded with this guy today, so gonna have to wait for him to come back tomorrow. So I'm out adventuring for emeralds at the moment because I'm impatient and don't want to wait any longer. And look at this temple I've just found, buried beneath the sand. Never seen something like that before. Actually, I probably have, it can't be that uncommon, but still kind of cool. A buried away ruin of the Asterian borderlands. We still haven't left this big desert that our village is located in, but I thought I would hop in here whilst I'm recording and see if there's anything of interest. Let's not step on the TNT, but I don't need to take it because I have plenty of gunpowder. So is there any emeralds in here? I'm not even sure they spawn. I managed to get 3 from the... Oh, I was hoping that'd be a mending book. 3 from a nearby village that I took from their storage room. But yeah, no luck this time round. I'm really low on rockets at the moment, so I've got to start heading home soon. I've managed to get together some more emeralds, a notch apple, and just some diamond and gold and horse armor and whatnot, but thought we'd go in this one real quick. I'm going to be quite risky and just go straight down. Try not to land on the pressure plate. Anything in here? Come on, this can be the final one. I just need a couple of emeralds. Please be a mending book. Sharpness 5, that's not as good, but I will happily take it. I have made it back safe and sound with a total of 39 emeralds, so that will just mean less waiting I've got to do today, which is nice. But for the meantime, whilst I wait on the merchant to show up, I want to watch my butcher for a minute here, because last episode, if you guys remember... Amy, get out of the way. He was killing animals just in their pen instead of taking them to the slaughterhouse, which... Again, doesn't really matter. I'm just kind of curious why he wasn't doing it, but I have not been paying attention to him, so yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on him here for a few minutes and wait until he finishes reading so he can go kill an animal, and I want to see what he does. Okay, we have a lead in the hand, so that is a promising start. By the looks of it, he's going to drag them out before he chops their head off. Sorry, being a bit gruesome again as we walk through the bloody butcher's building. So he is going to grab a chicken. Alright, it was a sheep that he killed last time. I thought you just grabbed a baby chicken then. I was going to say that is very brutal. Then he goes into here, and I also want to check to see if they... Nope, they do not stand a chance. There can be issues where they'll jump up on the side of blocks, and yeah, that'll make the butcher just miss sometimes. But obviously, he doesn't struggle. So yeah, that's good, I guess. Oh my, he's going for another one. He's just on a killing spree at the moment. Let's see what the sheep does. I'm sorry if anybody doesn't like to see this. They are only video game animals. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, see, I didn't know if when he hit him the second time, he'd like run and hop up on here and then the sheep would be loose or something. But no, our butcher is way too good for that. Little update on our llama here in his home. He is enjoying himself, that's for sure. Mr. Merchant, this is the exact trade I needed you to bring today. 5 stacks of jungle logs getting us 20 extra emeralds, which is more than enough for what we need to buy all of those tokens. So let's go find the tradesman. And we need 2 lumberjacks. Let's make sure I don't shift click here and get like over 10 lumberjack tokens, because that would be a little bit overkill. And we'll go all the way along to the druid and get 2 of those. So the 2 nitwits with the lowest intelligence will be getting the lumberjack tokens, which is you, Jerris, and you, Maya. Then the 2 nitwits with the highest intelligence will be getting the druid tokens, which is you, John, and you, Dungarth. I have made it so all 3 of our druids only come down here to replenish the mine shafts. They don't try and grow crops or grow trees or anything like that. All of their time is spent down here in the mines, as to not get the keep the mine shafts from going too long, and yeah, keep them nice and short, which they've done a decent job at. I have only just given them their tokens, so I might have to give them a bit more time, but yeah, I think it was definitely a good purchase, and maybe next episode we can buy some more mineshaft tokens and kind of just place them in each of these if we somehow have enough emeralds for that. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode, guys. I know it might seem like we haven't really got a lot done with the village today, but that's just because the main thing in the episode was the tree farm underground. That took up a lot of my time, so I didn't really have much to spend up on the surface here, but we built the greenhouse as well as our llama house you see behind me, and I think the llama is actually still in the same position with his head through the... Oh, I thought he was gone missing. No, he's over here. He had his head stuck through the trapdoor for a very long time, but obviously he's got it out now and is trying to climb up the ladder, aren't you? Yes, you are. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I really hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.